The ocean, often considered to be the final frontier. We are surrounded by water, yet we seldom know what could be lurking in the deepest depths of the planet's seas. On the eastern coast of England, the county of Norfolk rests on the edge of the known world, surrounded to the north and east by this vast expanse of mystery. For years, strange sightings of an unidentified creature have been reported on the East Norfolk coastline. Eyewitness reports over the decades have been varied, and evidence of the creature's existence has been piecemeal. In today's video, we aim to look at the mystery of the Norfolk Sea Creature. These are the top 6 locations the Norfolk Sea Creature has been spotted. But first, a word from today's sponsor.
Have you ever found yourself in the seaside resort of Greater Yarmouth in the east of Anglia and looking for some hearty potato goodness to fill you up of a luncheon? If so, then we have the answer for you. Cook's Chip Stall is based in the heart of Great Yarmouth's bustling metropolis and sprawling marketplace. Market chips are a long tradition of the town, and Cook's has been cooking chips for nearly a century. Handed down through generations of cooks, there has always been a cook at Great Yarmouth Market, providing locals with golden starchy goodness. Today, cooking from only the best hand-picked new potatoes, Cook's Market chips are enjoyed the town over. Look at this interesting fellow. He's enjoying a chip or two. And that's not all. You can enjoy many a topping to dollop onto your purchased chips of choice, including tomato ketchup, vinegar, sodium chloride, gravy, sweetened chili, grated cheeses, pickled onions, brown sauces, pickled onion vinegar, barbecued sauce, egg mayonnaise, chili con carne, slightly baked beans in a tomato brine, cream for salads, Indian curried sauce, and many, many more. And for a limited time only, quote, fact or fiction, and get a free battered sausage. So that's Cook's Chip Stall, Marketplace, Great Yarmouth. Cook's Chips. Chips of the old block. He gets it. And now, back to the YouTubular video program.
Number 6. Norfolk. Given the name of the Norfolk Sea Creature being the Norfolk Sea Creature, it's hardly surprising that the Norfolk Sea Creature has been spotted in Norfolk. From Happisburgh down to the coast of Great Yarmouth, including places such as Winterton, California, Hemsby and Eccles, the Norfolk Sea Creature has been terrorising beach patrons and tourists for decades. The most prominent record of the Norfolk Sea Creature comes from the early 1900s and from the memoirs of local trawler boy and fisherman Jacob Fisher. Jacob Fisher was born in Great Yarmouth in 1898 and was a fisherman for most of his young and adult life. Jacob kept memoirs of his travels in his trawler with his trusty pet dog Dillis, who accompanied him everywhere he went and who, it was said, used to adorn a skipper's cap. Jacob's memoirs detail how at times he and Dillis were fearful to head out to sea, but as the herring trade at the time was thriving, the coin was good. In his memoirs, he describes strange noises heard out by the wash at Great Yarmouth, and how the rest of his crew would tell tales of a figure in the water, a lurking presence on the Norfolk shores. Even in the 1950s, a Great Yarmouth-based film studio attempted to fictionalise the horrors some of the locals and fishermen, such as Jacob, had experienced, but more on that later. Number 5. The Sea. The sea is a dangerous and mysterious realm which is mostly unknown. However, the Norfolk Sea Creature knows the terrain like the back of its hand, or fins, or claws, or tentacles. It's not really fully established what the biological makeup of the creature is, and reports do vary. A former mayor of Blowfield did spot the sea creature, or perhaps one of its family members, at Eccles next to Sea back in 1927. The former mayor is probably dead now, so is unable to clarify what he saw, but we can confirm that being a man of office at the time, his account of the creature must have been true. It was said that the former mayor was enjoying a stroll along the beach at Eccles, preparing for the next day's cabinet, when he spotted what looked to be a serpent in the sea, moving very rapidly along the shore towards Munsley. The serpent was said to have been 80 feet in length, and many have resembled the likeness to that of the Loch Ness Monster. The mayor wrote a letter to the local newspaper accounting what he saw and urging anyone else to come forward. One local entrepreneur at the time was even said to have taken out an ad in the local press, offering excursions to meet and greet the Eccles-on-Sea sea serpent, as it was dubbed. Whilst the initial sighting and letter to the press caused quite the commotion, the editor of the newspaper at the time suddenly called a close to the matter, as other locals would write in, and to this day the incident remains a mystery. This does make you wonder though, as to whether the newspaper was perhaps muzzled by someone wanting to keep the creature's existence a secret. More recently, a woman from Great Yarmouth also claimed to have seen a lot of documentaries, but on the subject of the Norfolk Sea Creature, admitted it might have been a whale that was said to be hanging about. The probability and likelihood of a whale ever approaching the Norfolk coastline, however, is unprecedented, so you have to ask yourself if it was another large creature instead, or perhaps an alien from another world. Just off the coast of Great Yarmouth is Scroby Sands, a sandbank that inhabits a large seal colony. The seal colony migrates to the beaches of Winterton for the winter, and this is how Winterton-on-Sea earned its name, although seals can be seen migrating as far as Horsey, further down the coastline, famed for its pedigree horses and horticulture. Abundant in the Norfolk waters, seals are seen swimming, and this causes many to log incorrect sightings of the creature, often mistaking something as mundane as a seal as something more sinister. However, you can never be too careful of what might be lurking in the deepest depths or the shallowest shallows. Number 4. The beach. The beach leads directly to the sea, and as such, it contains many of the similar dangers the watery world possesses. Many eyewitness accounts of the creature have been from land. Take a look at these sketches drawn by a local award-winning artist after an encounter with the Norfolk Sea Creature at Winterton Dunes. The award-winning artist has vowed never to return to the beach again. Other sightings include that of a wild man on the Great Yarmouth seafront who has made it his mission to warn the locals of the town about the dangers of venturing out to the beach, equipped with wisdom spouting and a sandwich board. Many of the evidence of a new predatory mammal stalking the Norfolk coastline, however, comes from flotsam and jetsam that washes up ashore. Such flotsam gains the interest of the Happisburgh Marine Co., a mysterious organisation based in Happisburgh that is said to have led extensive research into the prominence of the Norfolk Sea Creature on the beaches of Norfolk from their underground research centre. Believed to be based underneath Happisburgh Lighthouse, this top-secret facility claims to be nothing more than a research laboratory for the country's top marine biologists. However, certain leaked documents and whistleblowers have led to speculation that nothing is quite as it seems below sea level. A former whistleblower, who is said to be one of Happisburgh Marine Co.'s top marine biologists, claims to have gathered evidence such as water samples from the ocean and, most eerily of all, an unknown gooey substance found in the sand, which is said to resemble ambrosia rice pudding if it were green in colour. It is unclear whether this documentation is a hoax, as it was uploaded to online forums anonymously by a user whose account has since been deleted, claiming to be a former marine biologist at Happisburgh Marine Co., and we are unsure if we even should be sharing this with you. However, such research could prove vital in determining once and for all the existence of the Norfolk Sea Creature. Happisburgh Marine Co. maintains there a simple research station, but locals forever live in the shadow of the dark clouds the Happisburgh Marine Co. casts over the sleepy village of Happisburgh. Some locals think the Norfolk Sea Creature is a result of gene splicing, with some even believing it is an escaped failed experiment from the lab, whilst others blame the Happisburgh Marine Co. for the accelerated coastal erosion that is taking place along the village's coastline. If enough erosion takes place, who knows, it may just uncover the seemingly sinister underground laboratory and the secrets lurking within. Number 3. The Snickums. St Nicholas Knoll, or the Snickums as it's known to locals, is a sandbank located just off the shore of Caister next to the sea. The sandbank sits just below the water, and due to its height and movement of the tides, creates an unnerving choppy effect, even on a calm day. Many fathers from Caister would warn their children of a monster that was said to lurk amongst the Snickums, waiting for unsuspecting paddlers to paddle in. Further to this, local fishermen, such as Jacob Fisher, would not dare tread these waters, and many would charter a course around the Snickums to avoid it altogether. Whilst the Norfolk Sea Creature has never been explicitly sighted at the Snickums, there has been evidence over the years of something sinister at work in the location. This includes anchors going missing, boats going missing, and some boats even returning unmanned. There are countless tales of Caister widows throughout history waiting for their husbands to come back from the sea. However, only an empty vessel would return. The next time you go to Caister and you gaze out to sea, see if you can spot the Snickums and ask yourself, could there be something lurking in the shallows? Number 2. Film and media. In 2021, a curious documentary surfaced from nowhere. Fact or Fiction, the Norfolk Sea Creature aimed to shed light on the sightings of a creature said to inhabit the Norfolk coast. The film features a collection of interviews from eyewitnesses who claim to have seen the Norfolk Sea Creature. A surprising amount of substantial evidence presented further cements the claims from locals and holidaymakers that something sinister is lurking in the North Sea. This evidence includes the clearest photo and video footage to date of the creature. One of the most prominent pieces of evidence featured in the film comes from an aspiring journalist. This young, determined journalist described how, whilst out on a routine story about pillar boxes, she spotted the creature in the sea and ran to photograph it. However, upon trying to snap a photograph of the sea creature, her camera had trouble focusing. The young journalist has received a lot of criticism from disgruntled locals and curtain twitchers for coming forward with her images. One outraged Caister resident exclaimed she must have put a net over the camera to fake the image. If you want to see her photographs, check out the link to Fact or Fiction below. We of course believe this is the most genuine photographic evidence to date. What do you think? In 1958, Great Yarmouth-based film company JS Studios set about creating a horror narrative based on the exploits of the Norfolk Sea Creature. 60 years in the making, this horror film has recently been recovered, once thought lost to time, but is currently undergoing restoration and censoring for today's modern audiences. Taking inspiration from local accounts and real historical events, the film sets to bring the Norfolk Sea Creature to the big screen. Tentatively titled The Creature from Scroby Sands, the long-lost motion picture is set for an October 2022 re-release, and we here at Fact or Fiction are very excited about it. Number 1. Suffolk. That's right, Suffolk. You thought you were safe in Suffolk, but you are not. Although on land, Norfolk and Suffolk are divided by physical borders, in the sea, they are not. In 1935, tales of the sea creature were recorded just off the coast of Southwold, but much like the incident in Eccles only a few years earlier, nobody lived to tell the tale. However, one man claims to have seen the sea creature roaming in the frothy waters of the county famed for its good cider. Roy Bartram of Walberswick contacted us here at Fact or Fiction to explain his run-in with the Norfolk Sea Creature in Suffolk. Take a listen.
Hello, it's Roy Bartram here. How you going? Right, what as? I should rummin', I spotted your Norfolk Sea Creature up here in Suffolk having a dip. What'd you make of that then?
And there you have it. That was the top 6 locations the Norfolk Sea Creature has been spotted. Have we missed anything on our list? Have you had a run-in with the Norfolk Sea Creature you want to share? If so, leave us a comment and let us know. Remember also to hit that bell notification and subscribe for more Fact or Fiction content.